Schefflera arboricola is an evergreen perennial with characteristic glossy green leaves that fan out in an umbrella-like shape. That's why it's called the umbrella tree. These plants are a great option if you want a tropical-looking statement plant without all the finicky tropical plant care. For the most part, umbrella trees do well when left to their own devices. They're a beautiful and low-maintenance plant perfect for beginners. Umbrella trees are somewhat drought tolerant, so you don't need to stress about them drying up a bit. It's definitely easier to kill one by overwatering than with underwatering. Here you can see the difference between wet and dry soil. There are several ways to water umbrella trees. You can use the traditional method of watering over the soil with a watering can or even directly under the tap or shower. Be sure to pour enough water into the pot that it starts to run out from the drainage holes. If you have a tray under the pot, make sure you remove all the excess water afterwards. If you watered under a tap, make sure that water has stopped running out before putting the plant back in its place. Bottom watering is another great method that doesn't make a big mess. If the soil is moist throughout, you can put your plant back on the shelf. If the soil is still dry, add more water and wait a bit longer. Different soil and pot types will absorb water at different rates. If you've got a smaller Schefflera, dunking your plant may be a great way to thoroughly water it. This watering method is especially helpful if your plant tends to dry out quickly or if you're in a hot climate. Lower the whole pot down into the water so that the soil is completely covered. The soil will begin to bubble as water fills the pot. When it stops bubbling, lift it up and allow excess water to drain out. An hour or so after watering, it's always a good idea to check that your plant's cache pots or trays aren't holding any excess water. An umbrella tree will benefit from fertilizing all year round, but it needs less in the winter. All-purpose fertilizer or green plants fertilizer are both suitable choices for your tree. Liquid fertilizers are popular and easy to use. It's what we recommend as well. Always be sure to check the packaging of your fertilizer to get the right concentration for your plant. You can also use fertilizer sticks or another form of slow-release fertilizer. These are formulated to release a small amount of nutrients each time you water your plant. If you have sensitive skin, be sure to wear gloves when handling fertilizers. The amount of slow-release fertilizer needed for your plant will depend on the size of your pot. Some are more concentrated than others, so always be sure to check the packaging. Dampening the soil will make it easier to push the fertilizer sticks into the pot. Water the plant thoroughly after adding them. You'll need to add more in 2 or 3 months, so if you've registered in Planta that you're using fertilizer sticks, we'll remind you when your umbrella tree needs a refill. These plants can grow quite tall even when grown indoors. They can reach up to 2 meters and even taller if they're grown as outdoor plants. Umbrella trees usually need to be repotted once a year. Here are 4 signs that will let you know when it's time to repot. It's wobbly, pale, or has stopped growing. Roots have started to grow from the bottom of the pot. It's top-heavy or leaning over. Water runs straight through the pot and the soil isn't retaining any moisture. Slightly damp soil makes it easier to separate the plant from the pot, and it's safer for the roots. If the soil is dry on repotting day, gently add a little water over the soil to loosen it up. Gently take hold of the plant and loosen the pot. Try to avoid pulling on tender branches. If it's being stubborn, run a knife along the edge of the pot to loosen it. If you're using a plastic pot, you can tap it on a workbench or with a tool to loosen the soil. If any roots are dead or rotten, remove them. You can also loosen thickly coiled roots before repotting. If you want to keep your plant smaller in size, you can trim the root system. Add soil to the bottom until the root ball sits about an inch from the rim of the pot. If you fill it with too much soil, watering can be a bit of a mess. Place your umbrella tree in the center of your new pot and fill around it. You can press down gently on the soil as you go. After repotting, give your plant a thorough watering. This will allow your new soil to settle. You can top up the pot if needed. If you watered your plant just before repotting, you might skip this step to avoid overwatering. Repotting is very stressful for your plants, and it can take up to a month before your plant is fully recovered. Don't stress too much if your umbrella tree is looking a bit sad for a few days after repotting. Skip the next scheduled fertilizing and make sure you place it in a spot with sufficient light, sheltered from direct sun and drafts. Like most plants, Schefflera benefit from having clean leaves that allow them to take in lots of sunlight. Always be sure to keep the leaves clean of hard water and dust. You can mist it or place it in the shower. Use a feather duster, or wipe the leaves with a damp cloth. This will also give you a great chance to check for pests. These plants like bright, indirect sunlight. If it starts to look a bit leggy and the leaves become floppy, this might be a sign that it's not getting enough light. Keep your plant out of harsh, direct sunlight. Plants can get sunburned just like us. Being a tropical plant, they do thrive in high humidity. But if you can only provide it with low or medium humidity, these plants will be just fine. By following these few simple tips and tricks, your umbrella tree will be a statement plant in your home for years to come. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye!